Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I want to do a quick video talking about this epic alpha move. This is incredible if you ask me. And I'm going to give you my thoughts overall on this. Now, I've been knee deep right now. Actually, I've been about head deep into the Terra Luna ecosystem. I haven't talked about it hardly at all on my channel yet. I'm formulating content, trying to figure out the best way to bring this content to you. I spend a tremendous amount of time thinking about what content I want to put on this channel and how I want to best serve you, the audience, the viewers. So first of all, thank you so much for being here. I absolutely appreciate you. Do me a favor, if you get value out of this content, smash that like button. And if you don't, that's okay. I understand. Now this right here, I want to cover this in the Terra Luna ecosystem. This has just happened in the past couple of days. I have looked at Terra before, the whole Terra Luna ecosystem, and I look at it and I think, okay, I think there's something there. I think there's something there, but I haven't taken time to deep dive into it. And then I saw this right here. This guy on Twitter, Sensei Algod, said, who wants to take $1 million bet that Luna will be at a lower price in 1 year from now? When you see this, challenge, you know that you can wonder why he's making the challenge. You can come look at the 1 year chart, and you will see that Terra's been on a run. I mean, a crazy run. From a trader perspective, we're hitting these double tops here. Basically, from a trader's perspective, just looking at the chart, you can understand this is probably not a bad bet if you don't understand the Luna ecosystem. In the next video I put out, I'm going to do a video on overall crypto news, and that's where we talk about some of the macro economics, things that are taking place in the world that aren't directly related to crypto but have a positive effect on crypto, things like inflation, things like central bank digital currency, stuff like that. We all know right now there's coming regulations. Those of you that have been subscribed to my channel, you've heard me talk about this. There's coming regulations. These regulations will most likely be positive for central bank digital currencies, and they'll probably be much more restrictive for decentralized crypto like Bitcoin. And when you have regulations like that, there's also a lot of uncertainty around what's going to happen with centralized stable coins, such as Tethers and such as USDC. Well, Terra Luna, their entire ecosystem is create a UST, US stablecoin. This coin, even though there's a lot of it already been minted, it's an algorithmic stablecoin that has a lot of functions that make it a bit unique than any other algorithmic stablecoin, mainly the overall ecosystem. And I don't want to go too deep in the details, but here's what you need to know. The more UST gets adopted, for every UST that gets created, one Luna gets burned, or I should say a portion of Luna gets burned. It's not always one Luna, I don't think, but a portion of Luna gets burned. It's a deflationary tokenomic, and it's a very strong deflationary tokenomic, like 100x more deflationary than Ethereum. And there's more to it. The fundamentals of this project are unbelievable. So you can understand, and those of you that are familiar with algorithmic stablecoins, typically, even though I am a strong believer that we need an algorithmic stablecoin, I've been very critical of algorithmic stablecoins in the past. There's a period of time you can jump in a lot of small algorithmic stablecoins, and they're very profitable if you play them right, but they typically will collapse. Terra Luna is algorithmic stablecoin on magnitudes of steroids, for lack of better terms. And it's incredibly successful. The ecosystem is successful. Some of the highest rates of returns that you can achieve anywhere in DeFi. The simplest way to get into DeFi actually may be Terra Luna. It's pretty cheap to transact with. It's incredible. It's incredible. So I'll be talking about that a little bit more on the channel. You can stay tuned for that. But understanding the track record of algorithmic stablecoins, understanding this chart, and this guy clearly has a history in trading based on his name. And he says, who wants to make $1 million bet? Major alpha move. Now, the first time I saw this, I really thought, I don't know if it's real. Like, I think he's posturing. I'll tell you a funny story about my personal life. I had in business one time, I had a competitor who basically was making some bold claims that I knew were garbage. And I basically publicly called him out, and I made a $100,000 bet. I said, I'll make a $100,000 bet if you want to take me up on it. And of course, he backpedaled and that sort of thing. Now, I'll be very transparent with you. Nobody but my wife knew I was bluffing. I wasn't willing to make a $100,000 bet, but I thought he was bluffing, and I kind of called his bluff. It was a game of public relations poker, if you will. So when I first saw this, I thought, is this guy is this some sort of a bluff? Is he willing to take, I mean, what would happen if, he tagged these people. This is the developer, Duquan, of Terra Luna. So he tagged these people, and I thought, he's trying to call people out. This is going to be interesting. Well, you scroll down right here. Duquan comes back and says, cool, I'm in. Would you prefer to ask whatever your net worth is and bet 90%? Geez, that's hardcore. Would prefer to ask whatever your net worth is. He wanted to bet 90% of his net worth. And maybe this is what that is already. That's funny. So he called him outright. Now, we know that happened. When did that happen? That happened on the 13th. So then, yesterday, this happened. This guy retweeted GCR, interested in same bet for $10 million. Considered offering $50 million, but escrow becomes tricky. Will donate half to charity. Expect price to pump short term, but in 1 year, supremely confident that the current narrative is lost. And he tagged Duquan. Duquan come back? Duquan? Right away. Sure. Fund at Kobe's wallet, and I'll match. At Kobe is the guy holding the funds. He held them in the previous bet, and he's holding them in this bet. So this guy, Duquan, the developer, is making a $22 million bet. Now, I wonder how many developers in the ecosystem, and if you're a developer in the ecosystem, ask yourself, would you bet $22 million that your project would be higher? This is unbelievable if you ask me, specifically when you look at the chart and you see the run up. I mean, I think this is balls of steel, because even if this is a great project, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be higher 1 year from now. Now, a lot of people are saying this thing's going to 5x and 10x. I believe that. I'm making a personal bet with Terra Luna as well. I'm investing in this project. I've already bought some Luna tokens. I got a little bit of UST. I'm in the ecosystem. I'm making 70% returns. I'm doing 19% over on the Anchor protocol, in stable coins. Like, I'm doing all the things that I'm going to be covering on this channel. But when you see that kind of alpha move, and listen, mad respect for GCR, mad respect for this other guy over here, Sensei Algod. Mad respect for Duquan, but these guys are putting their money where their mouth is. I am excited to see what happens here, ladies and gentlemen. Here's my thing. I think GCR and I think Sensei Algod don't truly understand the tokenomics, and they're not looking at the larger macroeconomic picture that we're in right now. Because with everything going on right now that I'm going to be discussing on my next video related to crypto news, I think all of this is supremely positive. I believe the fundamentals are supremely positive for both decentralized cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and a algorithmic decentralized stablecoin similar to UST, which of course anything good for UST is good for Luna. And what these two people aren't understanding is there is a better than a 50-50 shot that UST could become the main stablecoin on some of these centralized exchanges, specifically when they find out what the regulations are that could be coming. Most of us who pay attention to the news are confident that regulations are coming and they're not going to be overall positive for crypto. Most of us disagree with how restrictive they're going to be, but most of us believe they're not going to be overall supportive for decentralized finance and decentralized cryptocurrency. My thought is this: always bet on the side of the developer, who obviously is biased to see his project do well. At the same time, he understands his project, his product, and the market he serves better than any outsider. Shout out to Duquan. I'm definitely rooting for him in this bet. Who are you rooting for? Let me know down in the comments. By the way, do you like the Terra Luna ecosystem? If you do, let me know down in the comments. Now, if you missed my previous video on crypto news, I'll link that above in the top right-hand side. And stay tuned. Be sure to subscribe to the channel because I've got another crypto news video coming up. There's something incredible. There's some incredible news that most people are not paying attention to. But as one of my viewers, as one of my subscribers, I want you to be aware of this. Thank you so much for watching. Decentralized cryptocurrency equals freedom. This is Crypto Wealth. I'm out.